There are many different types of events used for raising awareness, raising money, gaining new clients, and many more reasons. Learning how to create an event website will allow you to have a dedicated website to answer people's questions and to register for the event itself. In this video, I will show you how to create an event website using SeedProd WordPress Website Builder. With SeedProd, you can simply drag blocks onto the page to build your website without ever writing a single line of code. Let me show you just how easy it is. Let's get started. So we have a default installation of WordPress installed here. This is the default theme that we can see, and we're going to create a website over this. And I'm also logged into the WordPress dashboard here. I have no plugins or themes installed. It's just a clean installation. First thing we're going to do is come over to seedprod.com or click the link in the description below. And SeedProd is a WordPress website builder that we're going to create our website with. I'm going to use the Pro version, so let's go ahead and click on Get SeedProd, and you're going to select the plan that makes the most sense for you. And once you have an account, we're going to click on Login. On the left-hand side, let's enter your email address and your password and click on Login. Let's go to the Downloads tab here. It's the second from the left, and we want to go ahead and download the latest version of SeedProd. There's an orange button here that we can click to get that. We also want the license key here in the bottom left-hand corner. We can click that icon to copy that to clipboard, and we can go ahead and close this tab. Back in WordPress admin area here on the left-hand side, we have plugins. We can click on Add New. At the top, let's go to Upload Plugins. We'll click on this, and we'll drag this zip file here and drop it. Let's go ahead and click on Install Now. Let's go ahead and click on Activate Plugin, and we'll paste that license key right here in the middle of the page and click Verify Key, and you should see a green success message. I'm going to go ahead and close this tab at the bottom. Right now, SeedProd is fully installed, and we want to use the theme builder features here on the left-hand side. Let's go ahead and click on this. And instead of creating our theme from scratch, we're going to use the themes here that are pre-made that come with SeedProd. Let's click this button. And SeedProd comes with a lot of various theme website kits that you can import instantly into your website to get a head start. So the one that we're looking for is the event website. You can use any of these and convert it to an event website if you like. I'm going to use this one specifically. And once you import this, it's going to be putting in all of the design, all of the files, and all of the template parts for you. Excellent. So now we can see the home page, and we have a header section, blog, archives, and search, single post, single page, etc. Keep in mind that these are templates, not specific pages or posts. So for example, you would create this one page template for the single pages, and this would be applied to all of your pages up here based on the conditions that you set. So this one theme template could apply to many pages, for example. So this isn't activated yet. Let's go to the front page, and you'll see that we still see the default theme here. Let's come back, and if you see up here, there's a toggle to turn the SeedProd theme on. Now, if you have an active website with an active design, you probably want to wait till your website is set up fully in SeedProd before activating this, so be careful of doing that. If it's a new website, don't worry about it. You can turn this on, click OK and OK. This is just going to edit some settings in our settings here for our blog and home page. And now you can see the theme that we just imported here, which looks great. And now you can freely edit it however you wish. So we're going to come back here. I'm actually going to close this for now. Let me just show you the global CSS. If you come to the bottom, we'll click on Edit Design. And the global CSS here on the right-hand side, this is not actual content that you'll see on your website. It's just an example file, an example text and buttons used to style your website. So for example, if you want to style your buttons, you have options on the left-hand side here to change the font, the hover state, the normal state, the background color. And this will be applied to all buttons across your whole website. This is the global CSS. Same with your normal colors, your fonts, your background, forms, layout, and you can add some custom CSS as well. Now, if you notice that you set something in here in the global CSS, but on the website it might be a different color or look differently, that probably means that that element or that block was edited directly. And you can override these global CSS settings based on the specific block settings on the local level. So once you're done and happy with this, you can click Save. I'm going to just use these default colors for now, and we'll just modify the actual design on the page. So let's start with the home page here. I'll click Edit Design. And the first thing that we'll notice here is a double header here. So we have a default header template that we can include here. This is actually the same header right here. So if I click this block, this is a template part, and it's called header section. So we're actually selecting this. We can actually just click the eyeball here to hide that for now. And the reason you don't see that on the front page, if we take a look, you'll see that it's just the one header. If we come down here and notice the header here, you can see there's different conditions here. So if we edit the conditions, This header is included on the entire site, but it's not included on the front page, it's not included on the blog page, and it's not included on these 3 separate pages. But it is being used as a template part and pulled into different sections of these pages. I hope that makes sense. Let's come back to our home page here. And again, this is the template here for the header, but we're not using it here. It's being pulled in as a template part block. So here, I'll just show you how to do this from scratch. We'll select the block here on the left-hand side called template parts, and you can select any template here. So let me select this, and I'll select the header section, and you can see that that's the exact same thing as it was before. So the first thing that I want to do is actually update this picture here just to get an idea of what the rest of the website will look like. I feel like pictures are the biggest influence on the design. So I'm going to delete this picture here. And you can upload your own. I'm going to use a stock photo and I'll just search for biking. And I'll just look for a picture here. I think this one looks pretty good. Might be a little bit big. Let's bring the size down here to maybe 75. And this is based on percentage, not pixels. So this is 75% width. I notice the spacing here on the bottom is a little off. So we're going to select this whole section here, this purple section. And if we come under advanced spacing, we can put a little bit of padding here, maybe on the bottom. I'll put 50. And that'll add some space here. Great, let's select this picture. I just want to modify it a little bit. So right now this isn't really linked to anything. It's custom link and there's no link. For all of the images and galleries on your website, you can switch them to Lightbox now. So if I hover over and click, you'll be able to open that in a nice Lightbox preview. I'm just going to change that back to custom link though and leave it how it is. Let's come under advanced here and you can add a shadow if you like. I'm going to add an image border radius here around 100, so that'll round off the images. I'm going to add a border style with a color of white, and the border width is going to be pretty thick. I'll put about 10 pixels there on all sides. And there's other options here to use if you like. That's good enough for me. Let's change the headline here. So we'll select this and just update the text. I'm going to put annual biking event. Now, of course, you would change this to whatever event that you have. We have a date here, and then we have a enter your email to access the event. So you could connect this. What I'm going to do is actually create the whole website in this video, and then we're going to leave a second video to set up the registration form. So that'll be in the next video that you see on the SeedProd website. So I'm going to delete this one, and instead of using this, let's go ahead and find the button, and I'll drag this button right in here, and I'll select the settings here. Right here under alignment, I'm going to select this last one, which will make it the full width. And then I'll update this to say register or event. And this will link to a new registration page that we haven't created yet, or we could convert one of these pages, maybe the contact page. Great, so I think the picture looks a little bit small now. Maybe we could put this up a bit. Another thing that you can do, we'll put this maybe around 85%. We'll select this row here. And if you come to the bottom, we have vertical alignment. We can actually align this perfectly when we click it. Everything will be centered perfectly this way. So this image will be in the middle of this row, no matter how high it is. So there we go. I think that looks pretty good. The next thing I want to do is just add a nice background here on this section. Let's go ahead and click this section already. We have the background image. Let's delete that. And I'll use a stock image again. And I think maybe something like a countryside with a road would make sense. I'll just go ahead and use this one here. Now that looks pretty good, but it seems a little bright. So what we can do down here is dim the background. So if I increase this, you can see that that gets darker. So you might like already this kind of gray look. If you like, you can customize the color here. So you can select any type of color and it'll change to whatever you wish to match your website. So since we have blue theme here, I'll select blue and we'll just bring this down maybe a little bit, something like around here. I think that looks really good. There we go, we have our menu here, and this is completely customizable as well. When we can change what items are in here in the WordPress menu settings, or you can click here and edit the specific header section. You can see edit this template part. That'll take you to a new window here where you can customize this as well. Okay, great. Let's come down the page and I'll show you a few things. Most things should be pretty self-explanatory. For example, this headline, you just click on it and you can update the text, the same as this text here. And we have different sections that you can just click on and modify the content. So for example, this section, we do have some icons here, but these are pre-made icons. These are images, not actual built-in ones. So let's go ahead and maybe adjust this a little bit. I'll create, let's say maybe 3 icons here, and I'll search for the icon block. So here we have the box. So we have icon and icon box. This is a full setup with an icon, a headline, and some description. So this one, for example, let's delete this icon and I'll choose a new icon here. And I think the first one will go with utensils. I'll select this one. And we could say something about maybe food being included. So maybe lunch included. And then a description, maybe 1 token per person. So you get a lunch token. And then you could continue this by duplicating. And we'll do this maybe 2 more times. And we can just drag these over using the handle. Here we can click here and just update the text here to whatever you want it to say. Okay, great. That looks pretty good. I updated 2 more sections here. I forgot the icon here. That's fine though. Maybe we can just change this quick. I think we'll just put maybe a tree, and that looks good. Let's edit this whole row here, and I just want to put maybe a slight background behind this, or we could do the section specifically. Let's do the section, and maybe a light yellow would look good, so we'll bring this down, and just a slight faded yellow. Let me try that again. Right about there. I think that looks pretty good. We could put a little bit of spacing here, or we could leave it like this. So I was going to add some spacing between these sections, but I actually kind of like how that looks, so I'm just going to leave that for now. Great, so again, you'll come down, you'll change your text here. I'm just going to leave this for this example, and the text here, this is just sample text. And maybe we could say that you're going to have an after party or something after the event, and then these are the various entertainment musicians or performers for different events. So you can click on here. They each have a image, and then they have a size, the alignment. You have the header text. This is the person's name. And then you could use the description here to add maybe a little bit of information about that person or the band. So you just go through each one, update the information. Here you have the sponsors for the event. So you can just click on the logos here, delete it, and upload your own picture. When you come down to the bottom, we have book your seat now. Maybe let's change this to let's get riding. And let's again change this to a button. We don't want this. What I'm going to do is on the bottom left-hand corner here, we have layout navigation. Let's click on this, and I'm just going to minimize all of these sections. And I think we want this one here. That's what this section is, right? So I'm going to take this button, which is the top one right here. You can see that it's highlighted. And I'm just going to duplicate that. So I have 2. So if I select this, you can see that it's selected on the right-hand side. And I'll just click and drag this all the way down here. And I'll put it here. I think I put it in the wrong spot, but you can see that we got down the page, and I'll just continue to drag that here. So now we have the register event button. And again, we'll update the link here. We haven't done that, so we'll update that in the next video when we have a page to link to. Great, so now I'm going to click on layout navigation to close this, and we have a picture here on the left-hand side that we can go ahead and update. So I'll just click on this, delete it, use a stock photo. Let's put another biking photo. And if you don't see anything that you like, you can click on next down here, and it'll go through all of the different pictures that you can add here. So maybe one like this. Down here, we could have some images here. So again, you could change these to a light box if you want to have a gallery. Now these are just separate images put into columns here. If you don't want to do this and you want to have an actual gallery, we could go ahead and do that. Go ahead and delete all of this in here. And I might actually duplicate this headline. So I'm just going to take this headline right here. We'll take the whole row, and I'll make sure I select that whole row. And let's just bring that down the page here, and I'll drop it in here. Perfect. Let's go ahead and select this block, and I'll say maybe just gallery or last year or something like that. Let's click the row settings. I just want to double check the spacing here. Everything looks fine there. And we have a row here as well. So next we want to put in the gallery block. We have an advanced gallery. Now this will add filters where you can click the text links and it'll sort out your gallery. Or you can just put a basic gallery here as well. And here you could click the block settings and add your gallery images. Now we don't have any images here really. We do have some bike ones here, and these pictures here actually came with the theme, so we could just use those as test pictures for now. Let's do something like this. Let's create a gallery and insert that. And here you can see, if we click, we'll see the options on the left-hand side under settings. How many columns you want? Let's just make this kind of smaller. So we could do 7. And we can change the image size here to thumbnail so they're all the same. And you can add a little bit of spacing if you like. I'll put maybe 10 spacing. And we have a link here. I'm going to change this to media file. And this will open up the lightbox option here. So if I change this to yes, now we can click on the images themselves, the thumbnails, and it'll open in a really nice looking lightbox here. And we can cycle through these pictures quickly and easily. Okay, great. There's a little bit of weird spacing here. I think that's left over from this row. We'll click on that, settings for advanced spacing, and yep, right here we have 50 on the top and bottom. Let's get rid of all that, and then we'll select the section. This is how I prefer to do it, and go to advanced spacing, and we can just add some padding on the top. We'll do 50 and 50 on the bottom here. There you go, you have some nice spacing. Let's go back to this image gallery and make it look a little bit nicer. We can add a shadow here. I'll add an extra large shadow. You can see that underneath here. We have an image border. We have image radius. Maybe we could add a little bit of curvature on this. Since we do have a curved image at the top, we could maybe mimic this into smaller images. So border color, white, and maybe increase this somewhere around there, 5, 4, somewhere around there. We have image white space as well. That increases the white space. We don't need that because we're using a white border. And there you go. I think that looks pretty nice. Let's go ahead and save this. And the footer I'm just going to leave alone. This is a footer template, so you can click on that to edit that if you like. Go back to the front page here. We'll refresh, and here we can see our brand new front page that we customize. Of course, some of the information and the pictures you would customize to your event, but this is a good start. Now we have 2 buttons that we can click on, and they will go to a registration page that we'll create in the next video. Great, so let's check out the other pages. We have partner. So these are all the partners that we could set up all the information on this page. The about page, so a little bit of history of your event. We have a contact page, maybe your email, your phone number, the location with the maps. A little FAQ would be a good idea. And maybe a newsletter here if you want to set people up to join your newsletter. We also have news here, and this is called news in the menu, but it's just simply our blog section. And this is the default hello world that comes with WordPress, and you can see that post in here. Great, so let's start with the partners page here. And if we click on edit page, we'll come to WordPress and we'll click on edit with SeedProd. And this will bring us into the page here. Again, you'll see the double header here. Don't be confused by that. This is just being excluded. And then it included it again here inside of this section so that it can be used in a nicer design. And you'll see on the left-hand side here, it says header section. So you could do something like update the background image here to apply to your event. I'll find one here like this, and you can change the position of this. So maybe 100% width bottom, top, fixed. We have a custom positioning. You could change this to fit however you wish. And you can change the size here as well. So we could do a cover or a contain. We could do a cover, change this to 0, and then you can change the Y positioning, and you can get that exact positioning how you like. Right, if you want to, you can do the same thing and dim this down, and you can add that overlay as well if you want to do the same thing as the front. So maybe something like this. So now you have your header here, and this is just a basic page to set up. You can go as advanced if you like with your layouts and create fully customized layouts here. So here we have a headline here. I don't think we really need this. We have the partners. We already know why we're here. So here you have the different sponsors, and they're listed here. We have awards bag sponsor, and we have a couple of those. So maybe you could even do categories here, like a gold sponsor and silver and bronze. So we could update that here, silver sponsor. And we could do the last one here is like maybe a bronze sponsor. And what you could do is update the colors. So gold, for example, you could click here, and we have an icon color here. So maybe we could do like a gold color. That looks good. And then come down. You can change the header too if you wish. Come down, we have the silver. So maybe like something like this. And we have the bronze as well. That's the last one here. So we could do like an orange kind of color. And then you could separate them this way and maybe have a link to your contact page or information on how they can contact you to sponsor your event. There we go. That's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and save this. And we can close out. If you check your website, that page should now be updated as well. So there we go. We have some information. This is broken down by sponsors and their different sponsor tier. And here we have an About Us page. It's pretty basic, but it gets the job done. It tells everybody what they need to know. You should know how to edit this by now. Click on Edit Page and then Edit with SeedProd. And then just come down and you can change the information here. I don't think we need this twice. We can close this. We have About Us here, or you could change the text here if you like. A little bit of information. A lot of blue on the page, so if you want, maybe you could change this to a black. Now this is what I mean by you're overriding the default global CSS on the block itself, so you have that option. If you want to go back and use the global color, you can just select this and click clear, and that'll remove the color from the block and it'll use the global CSS. So here we have an image here. Maybe you want to change the width of it, so maybe we could do 75. And then you can do the same thing where you add different styles to this. So the image border, maybe 100, we do the same thing as the front page. I think it had a 10 white border, but we can't really see that. Maybe just a light gray, so it pops off a little bit better. Once you're happy with your page, keep in mind that you have all of these blocks that you can add. The WooCommerce blocks are grayed out because we don't have WooCommerce installed. And we have standard blocks, advanced blocks. You can do so many different things with SeedProd and all of the blocks that we offer here. Let's go ahead and save this page. We'll close out. And you also have the contact page. I'm not going to change anything here. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You do have a map here. Just click on that. It has some basic settings to change. The FAQ, same thing. You just put in your questions and then the answer. It's really easy to use with all the settings for the colors. Here we do have an email list. Let me actually go ahead and show you this. So let's edit with SeedProd. Let's say you want to set up a email newsletter. You can click on this. This is the opt-in form. Right now we're showing the email address and the name. Maybe you just want the email address. You have the size here. Maybe we can make it a little bit bigger so it pops off the page. The submit button, you can change the text if you like. Here you have the width and the font size and the background color. You also have a success action here, so you can just show a message or you can redirect them to a totally new page if you like. Once you're happy with that, you can click on save, but you'll see a little option up here called connect. If we click here, this is an option to connect any of your opt-in forms to your favorite third-party email marketing service. So for example, if you run all of your newsletters and email campaigns through Constant Contact, you can simply click on connect new account, and put in your API key. This is something that they will provide for you. They should have documentation on how to find that API key. And if you need help finding that, please contact their support. Once you have that key, you can paste it in here, an optional connection name, and click connect. And now you'll be connected to your account for Constant Contact or any of these services. Once you're set up and ready, you can come over here and save everything. And when people enter their email address through your opt-in form, it should go to that service and whatever list you have created with them. Great. Once you're happy, save, and we'll close out. And I have a couple windows here. I'm just going to close these out here. And I think for the last thing I want to show you here is the header. We have the section that we've been using. Let's go ahead and edit the design. And this is what we've been using as an include for all of the pages. Now it's on a white background and it's white text, so you can't see it here. But we have this news option. This is basically just our blog, and I don't want to have a blog on this, so I'm just going to remove this link. Right now we're using the simple menu type, so we add all of the options in here. If you like, you can have WordPress menus imported in here. And this is controlled by the menus screen here in WordPress. So under Appearance Menus, you can control your menus in here instead. For now though, we're using the built-in simple menu type that comes with SeedProd specifically. And you can enter in all of these manually. Once you're happy, click Save, Close, and now all of those menu sections right here and on the subpages, all of these are all automatically updated because this is one template part that is included in all of these pages. So when you update it in one place, it's updated on all of the places. Again, you could update your background images here as well. I forgot to do these too, but I think you get the idea. And here we go. We have our event website set up, which I think looks pretty great. And in the next video on SeedProd, if you're interested, I'll show you how to set up a registration event form where you can take registrations for your event. Now that you know how to create an event website, check out these helpful videos to take your event website to the next level. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.